About 5 years ago, I had my hair done. And I had one of these awkward small talks in the mirror ahead, as hairdressers do. But anyway, we got to talking about work. And I told her I'm a philanthropy advisor. She looked at me in the mirror and said, "What does that mean?" So I explained I help people to donate in a meaningful and effective way. Then I asked, "Do you donate to any charities yourself?" And she said yes. She donates to 3 different charities, and in all 3 cases, she did so because somebody asked her to. 2 fundraisers approached her while she was walking down the street, and 1 came to her door. And are you satisfied with the way they keep you informed? To be honest, she said, 1 sent me a magazine offering a trip for donors, but I'm not interested, and I can't afford that on my salary anyway. I never hear from the 2nd. And as to the 3rd, I don't have a clear idea of what they do at all. And it's too bad, I thought. She wants to do good, is donating money, but isn't happy and doesn't feel involved. Interestingly enough, that very same year, I met someone from who the opposite was true. I met David. And David, he had some very special grandparents. His grandma and grandpa, they got 9 children. And as their legacy, they set up a foundation called Het 10e Kind, the 10th child. They wanted to do something for children less well off in other parts of the world. And they saw their foundation as another child. Isn't that beautiful? And David, as a member of the next generation, he just joined the board of the family foundation. And my talk with him hit me because he was the first to say, all these different projects and charities we've been supporting are all very well, but how can I create more impact with our legacy? How do I ensure a lasting positive change? So he felt engaged, and he was really looking beyond the donations. He was genuinely interested in the effects. And by the way, when I asked my hairdresser what she would do if she had $1 million to spend, she said, immediately, without hesitation, she said, "Oh, I would give it to charities that work to improve foster care. I had a difficult childhood myself, and I can still feel the effects to this day. But where would I find such organizations?" And I realized 2 things that year. First, we do not necessarily donate to the causes we care most about. And second, we don't know where to start looking for the right charities. We act like Santa Claus. We're just handing out gifts at random because somebody asked us to. The funny thing here is, that's not how we treat our own purchases at all. If we need a new phone, we do endless research. We look for the best deals online. When making investments, we definitely care about the highest yield. When making donations, however, we just give to a few good causes blindly, without further thinking, and we cross our fingers that it will do some good. Isn't that strange? Now, I can hear you thinking, is that so bad? I mean, what difference does my small donation make? It doesn't matter unless you're rich, right? A real philanthropist. And that's where you're wrong. Because do you realize how rich we truly are? All of us together. I mean, raise your hand if you've given to a charity, if you've given money to a charity this year, even if it was a small amount. I mean, look, add it up. We give huge amounts. So how much do we give then? Well, about 80% of the Dutch households, they give more than 300 euro to charities each year. We donate 5.7 billion to charities in the Netherlands alone. Companies are good for 2 billion or so, and funds and lotteries for another billion. But who are the most generous donors? It is us, the households. We give close to 2.5 billion to charities each year. This means we are Bill and Melinda Gates. We've just as much to spend. But the thing is, we aren't sensible about it. We, the households, we do not treat our donations the same way as smart philanthropists do. And this can and must change. Everyone talks about the need to give more. But what we should be doing is making better use of what's already there. So how does that work? How do you become a good philanthropist? First of all, make a plan. Switch from reactive to proactive giving. And stop saying yes to all these random street fundraisers. Just spend a month writing down what makes you sad, what makes you happy to read about in the news, and decide what causes you care about. And second, focus on a charity's results, not just the costs. In the Netherlands alone, we can choose between more than 10,000 charitable organizations of highly variable quality. And how do we go about deciding what the best charities are? We basically check if the CEO's salary and the overhead costs aren't too high. But that's the opposite of what we should be doing. Thinking that lower overhead cost equals better results is a massive mistake. It's much more useful to consider if an approach is effective. Imagine your child is going blind. Fortunately, the hospital can operate, and there's a good chance that your little one will be able to see again. So you want the best medical team, right? To ensure the best possible results. So why then, on the other side of the world, go for the cheapest doctors with the least experience, sleeping as badly as possible in the cheapest possible hotel room before performing another 50 cataract operations the next day? It doesn't make sense, right? Again, if you buy that new phone, you don't start by checking the CEO's salary or how much the company spent on marketing that year. No, you just want a good product that fits your needs. So pick charities that provide good services and products to others. And third, consider where your money can do the most good, where it will have the highest yield. You can't solve all the world's problems, so you have to make choices. Even if an approach is effective, it's good to look at the different interventions. For €45, one cataract operation can help one blind person in a low-income country to see again. While at the same time, however important, training a guided dog for one blind person costs more like €45,000. So you could be helping 1,000 more people on a structural level with the same amount of money. You have to keep in mind that it's getting more and more important for all of us here to donate consciously, as there's a huge transfer of assets to the next generation coming up. And more elderly are putting charities in their wills. Researchers estimate that in the Netherlands alone, we will be donating 86 billion to charities over the next 40 years. That's a huge amount, so we have to use it sensibly. So promise me one thing. Next time you're asked to donate, don't play Santa Claus, but act like a responsible philanthropist. How great would it be if all of us gather around the Christmas tree each year to reflect on our donations and to review how well they did? It's that way that we can create a wonderful legacy together. Perhaps even one with effects that last 1,000 times longer than they do now. So remember, it doesn't matter how much you give, but it does matter how and to whom you give. Thank you.